Now, if you ask anyone who's raced here, they'll tell you, nowhere in the world is more important to get a high qualifying position than here on the windy, chicaney, challenging streets of Monaco. We're about to set the grid for tomorrow's race, but potentially for the end of the race too. So welcome along, everyone, to the Monaco Grand Prix qualifying.
Radio check, radio check. Okay, so as for the cars around us, just ahead are, so the current fastest lap, 1 minute, 0.0, Norris and Leclerc. And we're in front of Stroll, Gasly and Verstappen. Here are the top 5 cars as things stand. The fastest lap at the moment, 1.0. Leclerc, Verstappen, Piastri, Antonelli and Norris. Three minutes to go.
Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix. A proper road race, and in the true meaning of the word. That's how Mr. Monaco, the late great Graham Hill, once described this iconic event. The cars we drive have come a long way in the intervening half-century, but still we race on those same public roads beside the Mediterranean. There's no victory more coveted than that of the Monaco Grand Prix. We're on the French Riviera once more this weekend at the 2-mile-long Circuit de Monaco. The cars will climb around 40 metres up the hill, past the casino, and then descend towards the harbour through Sector 2. It's a very short run from pole position to the first of 19 corners, and don't expect to see much overtaking here today. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks like for today's race. Oscar Piastri lines up on pole position, with Charles Leclerc alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Antonelli, Lando Norris, and Russell, Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Coulthard, and Gabriel Bortoleto, Stroll, Sainz, Liam Lawson, and Gasly, Albon, Hadjar, Esteban Ocon, and Yuki Tsunoda, Behrman, Hülkenberg, Doohan, and Mark Webber rounds off the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man who I'm always pleased to see join me in the commentary box, Anthony Davidson. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was about 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometres an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow-speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Okay, radio check, radio check. Okay, you know this, but this track needs a lot of downforce, and as such, we're not going to have quite the same top speed as other circuits. The good news, though, is that it's going to make our DRS even more powerful. So try to make the most of it in the race and quali if you can. We don't currently have the data for that request. Okay, good parking there, mate. Now we need to make sure we get a great launch as the race starts. Okay, so that's the rest of the grid forming up now. Be patient and watch for those lights. Okay, DRS is now available. Okay, so we're leading our teammate by 10.0 seconds. Okay, they're on fresh hards, they're 22nd. And the time last lap, 1 minute 37.8. Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Sat in P8, well done. Our gap to first place, 8.1 seconds. Hamilton's ahead of you. Okay, they're on fresh hards. That's Alonso behind. Okay, they're on fresh hards. You've got 10 laps until your pit window opens. Pit window opens in 10 laps. And there's 36 laps to go. Okay, pit in this lap, and remember the speed limit. We'll be penalised if we exceed it. Keep that in mind as you approach. Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Albon's ahead of you. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, we think they've got 2 stops remaining. 2 stops remaining. Time last lap, 1:20.1. is our true position. We're on the same strategy. They've pitted as well as us, so warm up your tyres and make the most of this stint. Mark's coming in for his stop. The car ahead of you's just fitted the hard tyres. Car ahead now on the hard compound. Okay, we want you to pit this lap, so push now, push. Okay, you've got P3, well done. Our gap to first place, 15.3 seconds. That's Russell just ahead, push for the position. Okay, gap to the car in front, 3.4 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Okay, Antonelli behind. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. Your pit window's now open, pit window is open. Okay, 12 laps to go. Box, box, box. You're in first position, front of the pack. Leclerc behind. They're on fresh mediums. Your pit window's now open, pit window is open, and 11 laps to go. You're leading the pack, that's P1. Leclerc is behind you. They're on fresh mediums. Your pit window's now open, pit window is open, and 11 laps to go. Okay, off we go, back into the race. Perfect job from you and the crew there, mate. We're delighted with that. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Mark is in the pit lane. Mark in the pits now. Okay, gap ahead, 0.9 seconds. Okay, you're catching the car ahead, but remember, we need to get to the end of the race on these tyres. Okay mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. As things stand, we're going to be 13th in the championship. And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
Charles Leclerc, what a drive, what a victory, he wins! And once all the hard work is over, and after lap of brilliant racing, it's time now to celebrate with our podium trio. And who gets to take the top step of the podium? Yes, it is I, Leclerc, Charles Leclerc on top. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon.
Hey, boss, have you got a moment to look at something? All right, we've cooled our interest for now and let them know we're looking into other targets. They took it as well as can be expected.
Hey, Chief, we've got multiple parts out of research. Don't forget to develop them. We've got performance sitting on the table that we could be getting into the car.